Hey guys, welcome back. It's the Lifestyle Dropbox. We are here at episode 11. Yay. We got our boy Bruce over here. You saw him from the last episode where we did the Swinger Beach meetup. You know how it goes. You can find us here at YouTube, Spotify, at Lifestyle Dropbox. You can find us on Instagram at lifestyle_drop_box if you want to keep up with events. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. But if you need any more information, it's right here. So make sure you guys go ahead and follow, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Today's episode, we are going to hit the head on the nail, okay? Or the nail on the head, however you want to say
it. We're going to hit it. Something's getting hit.
There you go. So today's episode is about integrity and most of all, etiquette in the events or just how you carry yourself in general in the lifestyle, okay? So this is a very critical episode, in my opinion, because it really does set the foundation of the lifestyle and how you carry yourself and basically how you interact with the host and others in the community, okay? So it really is a make or break situation, and it tells you a lot about yourself, all right? Welcome, Bruce. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Great to have you. And we do have some lovely audience members here. They are more than welcome to chime in if they like. Yay! If you guys have any questions or concerns, please, feel free to chime in. Just raise your hand. We'll be more than happy. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and start off. I'm going to start off with the basics of hosting and kind of navigate through the beginning to the end, the RSVP process, and just kind of flow from there. Okay. So hosting is, again, it can be very frustrating, like I mentioned in prior episodes. And that is because there is a big difference between someone living the lifestyle and actually just being a party goer and just kind of, what I call the F fest. We're going to keep it clean on YouTube. Okay. Why? You know what the F fest is, right? So it really does show your true intentions. Okay. And just starting from the beginning. Okay.
Yes.
So the RSVP process, the minute that they decide to respond to the event, I'm going to start off with the first violation, the single males. Well, how many ladies are going to be there?
You know what's so crazy is that that's an issue that you've had at your event. And I've actually done BDSM events in the past. And the call that I would get 90% of the time, how many ladies are going to be there? Is there going to be play?
Well,
you haven't even walked in the door yet.
The first question that my response would be is, are you looking for prostitutes? And they say, no. Well, I'm going to say in the event that even if 20 ladies showed up, does that guarantee you play? Does that guarantee you any interaction? For me, I personally believe it's how you carry yourself. You either got the juice or you don't. That's what I say. So you come into the event, I wouldn't suggest that you be a wallflower. I suggest that you come in, you at least interact, introduce yourself. If you are the type to kind of just play the room, that's fine, but don't do it the whole way through, I think a lot of guys, they do wait for the ladies to approach them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You may miss may miss the flight on that one, okay? So my thing is, when you RSVP to an event, respecting the host, most importantly, but you can't knock people for having questions, okay? And usually that is what I call a newbie question, a rookie question, and it also shows your intentions at the parties. You are coming to look for the ladies, that's fine. But again, me as a host, I don't supply women. These are real lifestyle people that are looking for events just like you. There's people who show up, people who don't. I know for me, ladies flake the most. I hate to say it. So, but again, it's not my job to supply you women, okay? It's your job to come in and show your personality and, play the room, and whatever happens with your night is what happens with your night.
But you know what? This is what I think causes that issue. Because a lot of people, they don't take the time to learn the lifestyle. When I first got into it, you had to get vetted. You had to go to munches. You had to know someone. People now are just going online and just saying, oh, there's a party.
Yeah.
And they're going in there signing up. And then when you go to these events, let's be honest. We have some people that are not real lifestyles that are throwing events, that are throwing pay-for-play events.
Right.
That are throwing these events where if you pay the money, the women that are there are being paid to be there.
Right. And that goes into what we call the brothels. And that is a huge issue in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad experiences in the lifestyles per the males. We're going to hit them on the head right now. Per the males, they go to different states or whatever else. And the brothels, they actually pay these women to be there. They pay these women to play. So when they come across a host like myself, they're expecting that same thing. That's not, it's again, prostitution in its form, the strongest form that you could think of. And those types of parties you don't really want to be a part of because you just never know what's going to happen with that event. It could have a raid. It could have anything, you know. So you don't want to put yourself in that type of position. So when it comes to choosing an event, for me personally, I'm very proud to say that I don't have that type of environment. For me, it's a slow burn. And a slow burn meaning build the community up with the right people, with real lifestylers, real like-minded individuals, not necessarily the single guys who are looking, you know, for multiple women that, you know, that the host supply. That right there is just not a good look whatsoever. So tip to you guys, make sure that the host is well known. You can ask around, you know, credentials, you know, do your research. But if that's what you're looking for, Lifestyle Dropbox is not for you, okay? So you can go ahead and take that elsewhere because I do have guys that come into the event with that type of, you know, mentality and demeanor, and you will get booted. You won't get invited to another event because one, safety first. And those types of guys, they come in and they feel like they're entitled to something, you know, and that's not how that's supposed to go. And when you feel entitled, when you feel entitled, that's when the disrespect starts to come in. You're not really talking to the ladies because you don't have patience. You're more like, well, I paid this amount of money, and I should have this, that, and other. Let's get that straight. That is an entry fee. Just like you would come into any other place, like a club or anything else. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's not something that is attached. Although you are in that type of environment, again, it really just depends on you and how you carry yourself and how you're approaching the ladies.
Unfortunately, you have some people, they don't know how to talk to people in their vanilla lives. The lifestyle is an extension of your vanilla life. That's all that it is. So you can't just walk up to somebody and grab them and say, hey, how you doing? They're not going to respond to that. You can't do that in your vanilla life. So don't come to a party and do that.
I agree.
Something else to think about is a lot of these guys come in with what I call a loaded gun. So they come in and they're hopped up on Viagra. They're hopped up on honey packs. They're hopped up on... I've actually been to an event where somebody actually had a syringe with some type of sex drug and he was injecting it in himself.
Oh, no.
And it's funny because he didn't even play. So I did laugh in his face. But you have some people, they come in with this attitude. They come in with this mentality that, oh, if I come in here, I'm entitled to play. These women should want me. And if you go to those types of events that are those pay-for-play events, the way that you can tell that they are is if as soon as you walk in the door, the women are going straight to you and ask you if you want to play with minimal conversation. If it's, hey, how you doing? How are you? You want to play? Whoa, I just walked in the door. Relax. So if you start seeing that, every woman there is doing that, or if you start seeing that the women that are there have lines, have guys that are literally in line to play with them, which I have actually seen more than once, actually more than 10 times. A lot of times those are pay for play. So be mindful of that and do not think that that is normal. It is not normal for you to go to an event, not have to talk to a woman or man or whoever you want to play with. It's not normal to not have conversation and then to automatically assume that you're going to play. Social skills is paramount.
Personality goes a long way. And I try to tell people that all the time. You know, everybody is not a social butterfly. We do understand that. But if you are going to come into this environment, for me personally, I try to keep my environment intimate because that helps people interact a little bit more. It's not the same as going to a club where you're in this massive space and just kind of walking past, you know, each other. I like to have, you know, more of a personal interaction, but not, hey, it's too crunched in here. You know what I mean? So for Lifestyle Dropbox, I do have, my private loft. That's where I host my main events, although I do bounce around.
Yeah.
But the loft seems to be working. It seems to be a great space for people. Like I said, we're not sardines, but we still have enough room to breathe. And also, as a host, and I'm going to drop some, jewels for the host, because there are people, again, who would like to host, but they just don't know what to do, or they don't have the patience, to communicate or to even endure it. And I always say it's customer service, it's hospitality. It's just like anything else. Like you said, it stems from the vanilla world. Yeah. If you're not surviving in the vanilla world, you probably won't survive here either. But it's a learning experience, and we get newbies all the time. Bruce is one of my LDB members, wonderful attendee, very respectful, very knowledgeable. So he's able to drop some gems and jewels to people. He's also a dom, in the BDSM world. But yeah, personality really does go a long way. And you know how I go. I'm bubbly. I'm energetic. Yeah. I'm always interacting with people. I'm always asking people if they need anything. I personally, I always have to ask for consent. And that's another thing. Host or no host, I still got to respect my own rules too. Yeah. But I do go ahead and kind of push the boundaries a little bit, because one, I want people to kind of break out of their shell. And I also want them to have a good time. And also, when the guys come, it's just like, all right, you don't know what to do. Let me go ahead and do it for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll go ahead, I'll tickle a little bit, I wouldn't call it groping. I'm not into that. But every now and then I also am a player as well. So I may just, go ahead and grab that thing. But, that's another episode. But yeah, we want to make sure that when you come in the door, you feel comfortable, and, you don't want to feel uncomfortable in any type of way, shape, or form.
And I actually have something with that. The first party that I ever went to about 4 years ago, I'm not going to say I was the only man of color there, but there was maybe one or two others, but they were leaving. A woman of color came in. A black woman came in. We were the only ones there. We looked at each other. We made eye contact, and everybody black is going to know what I'm getting ready to say. We looked at each other and didn't say a word and had a whole conversation. So we saw each other, and the host of the party kept asking if we were going to play. I guess his kink was that he likes to see people of color play. So I said, hey, let me just sit back. I'm just going to relax for a little while. I may play later. And the host literally followed she and I around the entire party. Wow. He asked us if we were going to play about 10 times. We went to the room to go watch another couple play, and the guy literally came on the side of me. That looks fun. Would you guys like to do? Feel back away from me. So Taz is, I will say this, and I'm not just saying this because Taz is my buddy. Taz is the best host of any party that I've been to.
I'll take that. Thank you. I'm the hostess with the mostest, as they say.
Indeed. It's a reason why I come back every week.
I love that. Yeah. And let me tell you, that leads to breathing space. Yes. Breathing space in the lifestyle. Yes. And this goes for everybody, okay? I've experienced it multiple times. I get it. You have an attractive person, man, woman, couple, whatever. Let's give this example. Let's do some funny stories right now, right? Yeah. I recently went to an event, and this guy, he wanted to play, right? And things got hot and spicy. And then next thing you know, while in the middle of the activity, while they're playing, right? This guy just comes in, hey, oh, this is nice. And I mean, you would have thought the guy would have laid next to the next guy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, wow, like where's the breathing space? And don't get me wrong, men have to be very careful in the lifestyle, because, they're the first ones to say, I'm not this, I'm not that, but you're mighty close to this man's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day. But if you say, hey, are you bi, or do you like bi plays? Like, no. Well, I'm really confused, because usually you wouldn't get that close if you were not. So that's another thing, and we're probably going to another episode about that, about, the different sexualities and things like that, and what people really identify as versus what they're projected. But at the end of the day, the space, even So I saw this girl, she was giving oral or whatever, and a guy just came up behind her and just kind of grabbed her and said, "Hey, can I touch you?"
Yeah, I've seen that.
Excuse me, sir. How about you ask before you touch? You don't ask in conjunction, while you're touching,
Well, actually, it goes both ways because I've actually been at an event where I was talking to one woman. We're having a great conversation. Another woman walks up and I asked, are you two together? And she said, yeah. I said, oh, no disrespect. I didn't know that you two were a couple. And the woman said, oh, no, we're both bi. So I said, okay. I go back to talking to the initial woman. The other one literally sits down in front of me, unzips my pants and starts giving me oral. I don't know her. We didn't have a conversation.
But you ain't stop her neither.
And I did. I actually did because I couldn't get up because it was so unsuspecting because it was, we're in a room full of people. We're in the very front of the room. And I'm just saying, whoa, okay, well, because it takes your brain a couple of seconds to process what's happening. So I said, wait a minute. Okay, this is out. I didn't pull this out. It's in someone's mouth that I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop.
Yeah.
And it was weird because the woman, and I think that a lot of women in general aren't used to being told no by men when it comes to sex. I'm very particular. I'm very particular about who I play with. I don't play just because someone's offering it to me.
Right.
You do have the right to be selective, and that's something that goes with etiquette as well. You have the right to be selective, and so does the other person. So just because you like someone, just because you're interested in someone, does not mean that they have to play with you.
Yeah. And the rules apply for everyone. And I want to reiterate that there is no, favoritism in the lifestyle, like you said. Just because you're a female doesn't mean you're getting away with whatever you want. You still have to respect the rules. And that I want to let people know that we're not just bashing the guys here because that's what most females in the lifestyle want us to do. Oh, it's the guys. I'm going to tell you hands down, hosting full time and interacting probably 20 times more than other hosts. The single ladies are ruining the lifestyle like no other. At the end of the day, they have multiple issues, okay? And those issues can run down from mental health to looking for connections, to groping on men, to being having bad attitudes for no reason. That's another thing. Don't come into my environment with no bad attitude. I do not like negative energy at all. I am happy. I am bubbly. My people know that I'm high energy. I'm always interacting. I'm always smiling. Somebody come in with negative attitude, of course, I'm going to have some type of sympathy or empathy, but you better have a good reason on why your personality is like that because it can really damper a mood, especially the single ladies. Most people would say that they are not limited in the lifestyle, but again, that boils down to who is a real lifestyler versus those looking for a party. Same thing with the ladies, just like the men. There are some women in here that don't have good intentions. They're not real lifestylers. They're probably age group wise. I'm noticing that maybe under 33 and below haven't really found themselves yet. Haven't really discovered, what they like, what they don't like. Don't know how to speak to men yet. And speaking of that, it popped up in my head. The one thing that irks me is when we're addressing topics. Don't call women girls. Don't call men boys. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. So when we talk about this, I want to make sure that we're addressing a mature crowd. We are women. We are men. You get what I'm saying? And we're going to do it that way because it boils down to what I was saying, the age groups. You'll hear a lot of conversations about the lifestyle and say, oh, well, boys this and girls that. And I'm like, grow up. Okay, because at the end of the day, it just shows the mentality of, where you are and, where you stand. So I don't want to, there are some mature, people that are, at a lower age, but in the lifestyle, like the real lifestyle from my experience so far, 35 and up is really where it's at, you know. The married couples, the more mature conversations, more understanding of what's going on. The verbiage is different. Even the respect is different. You know how to handle life a little bit better. You're not really flying off the handle. You don't have funky attitudes. When you get older, you start to
mature a little bit.
Brush stuff off, I have been in situations with a younger crowd where it gets feisty, it gets funky, it gets violent almost. You know, a lot of he said, she said stuff. You know, people wanting to lay hands on other people. We don't, we're not in the lifestyle for that. At least that's not what I represent. So at the end of the day, I want to make sure that, you know, I am at least leading the way with, you know, like-minded individual, mature individuals, people that actually want to grow, find themselves, find more like-minded people, and actually be a part of a nice, healthy community.
I think it's because your true lifestyle.
Yes.
And I think that's an issue that I get into with a lot of people. Whether I'm hosting an event, whether I'm talking to a group of people, I differentiate between true lifestyle and people that are in it just for the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem now, is that you have a lot of people that are just trying to make money under the guise of being true lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So those people who used to be on Craigslist or Backpage before those sections got shut down, they've come into the lifestyle to hide. And that's not what this is about. This is not a brothel. This is not pay for play. This is not the place that you come if you can't, let's be honest, if you can't get laid in real life, odds are, if you come to the lifestyle, you probably won't get laid in the lifestyle either.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to break it, but yeah, there's a lot of people who don't know how to move. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to act in real life. I mean, and they come into the lifestyle and they think, oh, I'm entitled.
Yeah.
But there's a guy, you know, screw it, I'm gonna talk about him. This guy looks like a black Elmer Fudd. And if you see a picture of him, you'll say, you're right. He looks like Elmer Fudd. In the vanilla world, this man does not pull women. I know him personally. He comes into the lifestyle and has been banned from multiple events because he thinks that he is entitled to the women that are there. If a woman is not attracted to you, they do not have to play with you.
Yeah.
That's it. As Taz said earlier, your fee to get in is not the fee for play.
Right.
It is the fee to enter the space.
Mm-hmm.
Once you enter the space, you still need those skills. You're still not guaranteed anything. Mm-hmm. That is the things. Fellas, let me say this to you. You are not guaranteed anything. You are not guaranteed to play. You are not guaranteed to get a number. You are not guaranteed to get someone's social media. Mm-hmm. Your best bet is to just come with the intention of enjoying yourself and hoping that you get a chance to play.
Right.
And if you don't, take it as a lesson, take some notes, call friends, take some lessons, and then figure out what to do so that the next time that you go to a party, hopefully you can play. I mean, Elmer Fudd, I don't have much hope for him, but because for him, it's not just the way he looks; it's his attitude.
And it's multiple men. It's not even multiple men, but again, this is not really gender based. You know what I mean? This is like collective because it's happening across the board, and that actually we're kind of bouncing off of each other for this episode because we want to make sure that we get all the questions that you guys have asked answered. Biggest question is. Well, why the prices are different, you know, we don't do gender-based prices. These are the reason why the prices are the way that they are. One, the ladies are cheap, just like a regular club in vanilla life. Ladies free before a certain time or whatever. You want to get the ladies in the door because you want to set the ambiance and, you know, have the guys come in or whatever else. That's no different than the lifestyle. When it comes to the couples are not really that expensive. You get a two for one special, like, you know, give me a break. And, you know, for the gentlemen, the reason why the prices are higher the way that they are, one, you pay to play. And when I say pay to play, that doesn't mean come in and actually play. Mm-hmm. That means you kind of have to filter those who are serious and not serious. You know, this is not an environment that you could just wake up and just walk into and it's everywhere. It's a discretion. It's a private, you know, it's secret, if you want to call it that. You know, this is not something where we just offering, I hate to say it, free porn for $30. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? So these are environments because they are not offered to you and you can't find them unless you really know somebody or on your website or something like that. Yes, it costs to come into the party and it's just that simple. If it was only $20 a single guy, you'll have a whole sausage fest and you don't want that. And then you have people that you just, it's not a good environment. Now you're looking at like a club, anything can happen. You know, there's a difference in financial status when it comes to men, period, you know?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't go to an event if it's under $50 because of who you're bringing in.
That's interesting.
Because if it's under $50, it's kind of like when you go to those clubs that don't have cover charges. No high-end club is going to let you in for free.
Mm-hmm.
No high-end event is going to let you in for free. So if you're opening it up to everybody, you're going to have everybody there. So anyone who really is lifestyle, you don't mind spending a couple of dollars if the event is nice.
Yes.
Because you throw the riffraff out. You don't have the BS. You don't have the problems that you would at a cheaper event. I've been to an event that was $30 and I wanted to go get a bulletproof vest, a gun, have a guard with me at all times. So
it's like that.
Yeah. So
and you got to be mindful as well. Let's educate them as we go along because in the lifestyle we do use certain terminologies. We don't want to get booted off social media.
Oh, yeah.
These are donations, okay?
Yeah.
These are tributes, okay?
Yeah.
These are not cash. We're not doing that, okay? Yeah. Donations are your entry fee. That's what we call it. Tributes, we can call it that, but we're not going to call it anything else but that. Same thing. I'm always checking people saying, hey, what do you do? Is this where a party you just come in, have sex and leave? I don't know what you're talking about. Click. Like, seriously, I just don't know. We don't talk that type of talk whatsoever. So when it comes to educational purposes and, like I said, just the RSVP process and just learning how to communicate in general, make sure you learn the terminology. There's always an episode where, we got to give some type of, terminology and educate. So that's important.
Yeah.
Okay. But these are the reasons why the prices are the way they are. And let me tell you, they complain about $80, $100. There's places you go to, I know where it go up to $300. Okay. Mm-hmm. And still, there's people out there that pay that type of money. But again, it depends on, what you're being offered as well. Yeah. When you come into my environment, I do understand, that things can get pricey, especially when you're doing it on a regular, because there are people who love the lifestyle. They'd rather come into the lifestyle environment than go to the bar. And that's another thing. Y'all playing yourselves because y'all go ahead and y'all go to the bar or the club, pay $20 again and then spend $200, $300, $400, $500 on drinks and still don't get no play. Still don't get no chick to go home with you. But then you come into my environment for $80 to $100 and then complain. We're not doing that. I'm very knowledgeable of how the vanilla world works. I'm heavy background on customer service. I've done every level of customer service that you could think of. There's not one person that's going to get past me with the BS, okay? So at the end of the day, just go ahead, just come into the environment with the state of mind is I'm having a good time. Yeah. And when you have that state of mind, everything kind of aligns with the universe and you probably have the best time of your life.
I agree.
And let's touch on the multiple women. You're expecting multiple women to be in the environment or being supplied by the host. Yeah. At the end of the day, you want to make sure when you come in and you have your personality, there has been times where there's been a big crowd and no one plays. It becomes a social gathering. Yeah. People are talking, people are mingling, and that's all. And then you have come in and it's what you call a slow night, maybe 10 people or whatever, and it's popping. People are jumping off the whole nine. So you really don't know what to expect in the environment. You just have to come in just hoping that the personality and the vibes are exactly what you're looking for. And then everything, like I said, to start the align.
Let me shout out one of your events
that
we did together. I was at an event and everybody was just kind of sitting around until about midnight. I kid you not. I went to the bathroom. I came back in the room. There were 15 people playing. I literally went to the bathroom. Nobody was playing. Literally 3 minutes later, 15 people playing. That it can happen that fast.
Yeah.
And I've been to larger events that I've had 300-400 people and no one played.
Yeah. And again, that also depends on the host as well. Yeah. For me, I love to watch. I love the sexual energy. Yes, ma'am. You too? I love the sexual energy. So for me, the crowd kind of becomes segregated a little bit. You got the ones who are the real life and you're like, nobody's playing. And then you have the newbies that's like, oh, okay, we're playing it safe. And I'm like, I open up that toy drawer. I start pulling stuff out. Like I said, I start touching and feeling this, that, and the other. Even change the music sometimes. Anything to kind of get the vibes going. And again, if I got to jump off the party, I got to jump off the party. That's just what it is. I'm not ashamed to say that I live the real lifestyle. So at the end of the day, you know, if something got to be done, it just got to be done. So that bathroom trip that you took, that is absolutely true. It has happened. And I try to, like I said, try to spark up and you know, the energy in the room as much as possible.
You do a good job.
So people, because that's also a big thing with the host. You want people to come back, you know? So even if it's not any playing going on, you know, there's great conversation. We always talk about the lifestyle and things like that. And people love that. We get a lot of newbies, which I absolutely love. I am honored. I am honored to have newbies because that gives me the opportunity to set the foundation. It gives a first impression. I'm also the director of first impressions. So that actually works for me. But yeah, I like them fresh. I like them virgins because that gives me I can pump them with information. Yes. And then when they go somewhere else, I set the tone. I set the bar very, very high. So if they go somewhere else, it's just like, nah, it's not like how it is supposed to, you know? So I appreciate the new people that do come in. And my guess is they're back there. They're doing their thing. I love it. They're bringing us good energy back there. Yes, bringing us good energy. I absolutely love it. So yes.
There was actually something that you said about molding people the right way. I always advocate getting a mentor when you get into the lifestyle. Because when I first got into the lifestyle, I literally just said, oh, I'm into this kinky stuff. So let me just find an event and just show up. I didn't have a mentor. So I made a lot of mistakes when I first started. So fortunately, I've been able to meet men and women that have been able to give me advice on how to operate, how to move in the lifestyle. You see a lot of people that will jump in, and the fellas, I gotta get at you, fellas. You see especially a lot of the fellas that will jump in and they think that this is a free for all, like a college party. And they think, okay, well, I should just be able to play, or they don't understand the rules. They don't understand the etiquette. They don't understand not touching without permission. They don't understand not being creepy.
Right.
Don't be creepy. Can't say it enough. I have literally been followed at parties before. I have literally, a buddy of mine, we were walking downstairs with a woman that we met. We were going to play. This other guy who we weren't even talking to followed us downstairs and tried to jump in. In the middle of us playing with her. And the guy's, oh, so can I jump? No, I don't even know you. But, you know, hi, my name is, I'm busy. Like, I don't have time to introduce. You know, you're trying to shake my, I'm busy. So, do not, that's something that if you were mentored, you would know that that's rude. You don't follow someone when they're getting ready to play. I have been followed into a bathroom before by someone that tried to play with somebody who I brought to the event. There was a woman that I brought with me. Some guys are scavengers. They will go after any woman. She doesn't have to have both of her legs, all of her toes. Teeth are optional. And these guys will...
Teeth might not be too bad when they come along.
Okay, I can't even tell that story right now, but... I can't even tell that's I have to tell that story when the camera's off.
Pop your dentures out, you know.
So, but I mean, you have some that don't get that, so they will follow the women. They will follow the guys that have the women. You know, like I said, there's been times when I brought women to events, and I'll have to tell the women before we walk in the door, if a man compliments you, he's not being sincere. I just want you to know that right now.
Really?
It's sometimes,
you think so?
Not all the time.
That's interesting. Can you elaborate on that?
So you have a lot of guys that will sit there and they will compliment women, and they'll sit there and at times try and strike up a conversation. And they're not really interested in you. They're just trying to get you talking so that they can play.
I mean, that's kind of how the environment goes now. Unless you're being a creep, that's not too bad. I actually appreciate those types of guys. You know what I mean?
They creeps.
You think so? So what turns into like the creep mode of that? If you give me personality, which I'm looking for at a party, and you're saying that the intentions may not be so good, where does it turn into the...
I'll give you a prime example. I was at an event with a woman that I know, and I warned her before she walked in the door. I said, some of the guys that are in here, do not assume that they are your friends because they're complimenting you. You don't know them. So just be mindful of who you talk to. Don't be too open too soon. Read the room. Read the people that are there. And one of the guys who's notorious for this at other events was there. And as soon as he saw the two of us, he starts complimenting her. Hey, what's your name? Where you from? How old are you? And she said, oh, he's nice. I said, he's not. He's just trying to play. We go upstairs. Hey.
Is that wrong?
Yes, it is.
Is that wrong?
Well, when you get arrested, you'll understand why it was. We go upstairs. She tells him, I'm not interested in playing tonight.
Okay.
He then comes back over, sits behind her, starts rubbing her back and asking her.
Okay, so the continuation after the no.
Yeah, so that's it. It's the no. No means no. So if someone is telling you that they're not playing, they're not interested, they want to take their time, and you're still complimenting, you're still continuing the conversation after they've said, I'm done, I don't want this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's boundaries. So some people, they use compliments as a form of pressure.
Right.
And they'll keep complimenting, they'll follow you around. Again, the woman who I was at the event with, she felt super uncomfortable because this guy kept complimenting her. And then even when she said, I'm not interested, the guy kept coming back. The guy came 4 times.
But let's elaborate on that, because the first thing I want to touch upon is I don't know what other hosts do, but the minute that you make your donation, there is a disclaimer that comes back.
Yeah.
I'm going to call them the 10 LDB commandments. That's what I call them. And they are general basic rules before you come into the environment. I need to make sure that you know this before you even come to my door, so you can't say that you don't know. There are some hosts that give like passwords and things of that nature. But for me, I tell you, the dress code, what the environment is like, what the rules are like, no means no, things of that nature. Also, even something as simple as the address and certain things to do. So I know that you're actually reading and following the directions. When you come in, it's nothing wrong with being friendly and things of that nature. Boundaries is the right word to use. You have to respect people's boundaries. It happens to me often, even as a host. There are guys that come to the event literally with the intention to do the host. And if they can't get to the host, then they don't care about anything else, which is perfectly fine because you'll hit a brick wall every single time, okay? Because for me, hosting is priority. And we're going to get into that as well. You cannot watch your environment thoroughly if you are playing. And it's just that simple. You can't do it while you're laying on your back. So, a lot of people, they're like, hey, when are you going to play? When are you going to play? When are you going to play? You've seen it. And I'm like, no, hosting is priority for me because I have to protect my guests. I have to watch. I have to have eyes. Not even that. I'm keeping the environment clean. I'm making sure everything is up to par throughout the night. And then once everything is, good in my book, I might go ahead and interact, but that means we are all in one spot. I'm not, here playing while other people over there. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to the pressure and the boundaries of things, that happens often. And it happens mostly with men. And that is another reason why the lifestyle is very limited at times with single ladies. Once you get that type of taste in your mouth, it's kind of hard to get rid of that, especially if it happens to you multiple times.
Hey, actually, you said something too. Again, I'm going to address this to the fellas. Answer the ladies soon. If you make someone comfortable, they're more likely to play with you. I shouldn't have to say that, but if you make someone uncomfortable, if you make someone nervous, if you're pressuring someone too much, odds are they're not going to want to play with you. Because they're scared, they don't know. Because when you're playing, you're in a very vulnerable position. So if you're making someone uncomfortable, why would they allow themselves to be vulnerable around you?
Right.
So for the people that are at events, treat people normally. This is not a brothel. I will say it again. Play parties are not brothels. They are not pay for play. I know we've said it about 10 times, but we have to say it for the people in the back just so that everyone can hear it.
But let's really tackle this no means no, because this is a real situation in the lifestyle. Pushing past a no, even if it is a friendly oh, maybe later, or, you know, maybe you'll change your mind. No means no. Give people the opportunity to come to you and approach you. When they are ready, they will come to you. But that respecting the boundaries thing, again, I've encountered it plenty of times as a host where people give me hugs and they're trying to grope my butt. Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? One, I don't even like to be touched. You know how that goes. You know, even being a dom, you know, for me, or just not even a dom, just a regular person, I don't like to be smothered. I am an initiator, and most women are not like that. But the women that I encounter in the lifestyle who are real lifestyles, when they want something, they'll go for it. So you really don't have to do much. But for the guy who is in a rush, hey, you know, I paid my money and I got to be to work in an hour. So that's not my problem, bruh. Like, it's just not my problem. So I know some guys who have been in a lifestyle well seasoned. Let me tell you, by the time 10 minutes walking the door, they already got somebody. And I'm like, damn, that was quick. You know what I mean? They know how to get, but their personalities are A-okay. You know what I mean? They know how to vibe. They know what to say or whatever else, or they've been in the lifestyle long enough. They probably use the same spiel on every woman. You know how that goes, but it works for them. You get what I'm saying? But for someone else that may not be that way, again, these guys, they'll even prolong it. You know what I mean? Where they'll wait all night. You would think they're cool. And then as soon as they get that play, it's just like they can't control themselves, you know? And then it's like, okay, we touched upon this at another episode, and in the rules and disclaimer that I sent, it clearly says it doesn't matter where the no comes from, whether in the beginning, the middle, or the end. Like you could be playing with someone and you thought this person was attractive. You like, dang, I hope that this whatever you're doing with them is good. And then when you finally get it, you're like, this ain't it. You ain't got to push past that. You have to know your boundaries for yourself. Forget other people. Like, know when there's a lot of people who continue to play, even though the condom is rubbing and their stuff is swollen. They can't get up, and they still trying to suck a soft one, you know, all types of stuff. Like, give it a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. I tell people all the time, go get something to eat. Go get something to drink. Come back. You know what I mean? But don't just keep going. There's no reason to have a story like that at the end of the night and say, you know what, dang, I really wanted this guy to stop, but you know what? I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Yeah, hurt that man's feelings. But you know what hurt that lady's feelings.
But you know what it is? I think that some people think that once they come into an event, that they have to play. They think that they wasted their money if they came in and didn't play, which is nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah, and that's why we're touching upon the donation is just an entry fee. It is just same thing, just like anywhere else. When you go into a vanilla spot, you pay an entry fee or whatever else, and then the rest falls on you. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you want to make sure, again, boundaries is the most important thing. It is just as much as you are a yes person, you should be just as much of a no person, if not more of a no person, because that tells you more about yourself, and which everybody shouldn't have easy access to you, regardless of whether it's the lifestyle or not. Just because there's plenty of parties where, you know, you come in and you don't get anything, and it could be a whole room of attractive people. It's just your mood and how you're feeling. There's one night where you might want to be a voyeur or watcher. There's one night where you just might want to play. There's one night where you just here to socialize and just vibe out, and maybe not even want to put, you know, be in the play party room or at all. I've had days like that where I'm like, you know what? I'm not even horny. But I still want to be around like-minded people. I still want to be in the environment, you know? Sometimes for me, I don't know if I could be in an environment and not necessarily watch, but that's kind of hard, you know? But again, it depends on what mood you're in, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I want to just reiterate that. No means no, beginning, middle, or end. Don't push past that, because you can't blame someone else for that experience. You need to go home and blame yourself for not even having the respect for yourself to even tell somebody no. You have to go home and work on that. You know what I mean? That's very, very important. And that's not, again, my favorite line is, it's not just lifestyle. This is real life. You get what I'm saying? Anywhere where you feel uncomfortable, where you get that gut feeling that tells you something is not right, we not doing that, you know? So, The next one that I want to talk about as far as etiquette and integrity are the snipers. Now that we're talking about play, sniping is when you take the condom off when the girl is not looking. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is a problem with itself. And also there's a major issue with, hey, can I take the condom off? Even if you did ask, no. This is the lifestyle. At the end of the day, you don't know this person.
Yeah.
You know, people say, hey, is there testing going on? Do you walk into a bar with asking, hey, did you test it? Can I see your papers? It's just not, it happens, but it's just not reality in like a large situation.
I've actually been to events with that. I'll make this very short. I was at an event one time. This guy was a scavenger the entire event. He was a problem literally all night. I had at least 6 or 7 problems with the guy that night, but I got along with him.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a problem. So at the end of the night, he's drunk. He's trying to play with one woman. She's saying, I'm not playing with you unless you wear a condom. He goes into the bathroom and steals a woman's period cup and tries to use that as a condom. And the woman says, that's not a condom. You can't use that.
What?
So he then tries to play with another woman who was playing with someone. And he tried to slide into her raw with no condom. I'm thinking to myself, she has been with 4 guys tonight so far. And you're willing to slide into this woman who you literally just met tonight.
But did
raw.
she clean up in between though?
No.
Because don't forget, we're swinging. Now
No.
that's an issue.
No.
So swinging, you can't really be swing. You can swing all day, all night.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you're doing. Hygiene is a big thing.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get up and clean up in
Yep.
between each individual play.
Yes.
You're definitely supposed to use a new condom for each individual play.
Mhm.
There has been, let me tell you, when it comes to the topics of protection, okay, this is what I've encountered. You got the snipers who try to take it off when you're hitting it from the back. Big no-no. I've had guys try to reuse a condom because they ran out of them. That's gross. Don't forget, condoms get stuck up in vaginas too.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys know when that comes off because the sensation is totally different. And they sometimes won't even say anything. You get what I'm saying? It just keep on pushing. Yeah. I know somebody that's ended up in the hospital because they had a condom so far stuck up there, it's not even funny.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want these types of issues. At the end of the day, my environment, I supply lube, condoms, the whole 9. Again, getting up and washing the guys with the same thing. It's not just a gender thing. This is just overall hygiene of the party. The only people that I really expect to be what they call bareback, meaning no condom, are the married couples. Or if you are in a committed relationship and you came in the door with that person, you have an understanding, you know, that you don't, you know, you have unprotected sex. But at the end of the day, if those are not the case, then you should be using a condom, a fresh condom. You should be asking what type of condom that woman uses because they could be allergic to latex, the whole 9. Me personally, I supply the skins. For me, are the best ones because it's non-latex. You could keep those magnets. They smell like freaking nasty spermicide powder type of stuff, and they make your shit swell up. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you don't want to do that. So when it comes to swinging, I want to just, you know, let you know swinging is okay. You know what I'm saying? Just like being approached with a guy with a personality, that's okay. But when you start crossing certain boundaries, you get what I'm saying? Then it becomes a problem. So you can swing between 5, 6, 7, 8 people if you're having a good time, but you have got to get up and wash. And again, this also depends on the host, the environment. You go into my bathroom, what do you see? Washcloths, towels, things of that nature, soap, mouthwash, people smoking, the whole 9. Don't smoke and then go eat some, you know, vagina. Don't do that. Go in there, you do your mouthwash, do whatever you want to do. Even in the set of rules that I send, bring a toiletry bag. You get what I'm saying? Those are the things. Bring your deodorant. Bring your own soap if you have to. Bring a toothbrush. These are not embarrassing things. These are actually things that make a person make you want to play with them even more.
Bring a whole bag. Can we say whole
Oh,
bag?
yes, it's called a whole bag.
Okay,
the
bring a
whole
whole
bag
bag.
could be your toys, your condoms, your lubes, your rag, all that stuff.
Mine is over there.
There's nothing wrong with coming and being prepared. And another thing, don't always bank on the host to provide these things because it may not always be there.
Okay. Can I stop for this? Because I have to tell this story. So it's about the
He
same
is
person.
a storyteller.
I have a million. I've been in the lifestyle for a few years, so I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. So it ties back to the same person that tried to play with the young lady Royal who tried to use. Huh? No, not Emma Fudd. No, the guy who tried to use the period cup.
Okay.
So the thing with this guy is that all night he was trying to bum things off of people. So if somebody had alcohol, hey, can I get some of your drink? If somebody had weed, okay, can I get some of your weed? But the biggest thing that he kept doing was asking people for condoms all night. He asked me about 4 times. He asked a friend of mine about 3 times.
No condom, no play.
So you're coming to an event where there's a possibility of you playing without a condom. I know personally, if I don't have a whole pack with me, I go to the store before I come. That's basic common sense. But you have those that will show up at the events without condoms and then say, well, I thought the host had it. No. What if the host doesn't have a condom that works for you? What if it doesn't fit? What if it's something that you're allergic to? What if they run out?
Yeah.
Are you just hoping that someone's just going to play with you just because there's no condoms? And something to be nervous about. If someone who you just met is willing to play with you, bareback, that you do not know, maybe a little bit of a red flag. Just saying.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. So is there anything? Oh, you know what? Dang, I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're having such a good conversation. But yes, I wanted to, the condoms is most important. Hygiene is most important. Again, the way you socialize, the way you approach people. There's other things that we need to set topic on. Give me one.
Okay, I have my whole list of rules.
Go ahead, do your
so
thing.
I actually have a set of rules because being that I've been in the lifestyle for a while, someone gave me advice. I have people that still mentor me to this day. So whenever I meet someone that's new to the lifestyle, I'll give them some advice. Here's a set of my rules. 1, don't pressure people. We spoke about that earlier. 2, don't follow people around. Don't be a scavenger. Don't kiss and tell. That's
the
a big
discretion of the environment.
Because I have been at events and I've said, oh, hey, I've met such and such at an event. They were pretty cool. And the guy said, oh, well, she likes this, or they like this, or this. No, don't kiss and tell.
Yeah.
Unless
that's important. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But that is the number one thing out of anything.
Yeah.
Once you leave here, what happens here stays here, just like in Vegas or anywhere else, because you can run into people. I've had so many people approach me outside the lifestyle. Unfortunately, I do know a lot of people who know people who know people. And at the end of the day, I do not condone having conversation about any environment. I don't even know you after we leave here. You could be my best person at a party and I see you on a regular. I don't know you. We're not talking about this at all. And honestly, that's kind of what makes it fun. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the fact that I know something and we can keep it to ourselves. We can laugh. We can joke about it. He, ha, ha. And you don't have a clue on what the hell we talking about. And I like it that way. You know, never, ever, ever leave the party blabbering off the mouth, and it happens a lot. And that's why people create NDAs and things of that nature and make you sign them because stuff gets real. You know, you can get sued for stuff like this, especially if you're on paper as a host or whatever else. You have to do everything possible to protect yourself, your guests, and everyone else. That's dangerous when you go and you start talking about, we're not doing that. So discretion is key.
It's so important. I'm not going to give my real name, but Bruce Leroy exists. That is my name in the lifestyle. If you see me, you see
got the
Bruce.
glove, baby.
I got the glove. That's why I'm Bruce Leroy.
Got the glove.
But I've actually seen people from events in the vanilla world. And I've had both instances. I've had someone that I knew, ironically, a guy who I saw at an event was doing work at my job. We both saw each other. We walked past each other, stopped, turned around, looked, recognized each other, gave each other a head nod, and kept walking. That's just it. And then I've had the opposite. I've had somebody say, hey, are you going to a party this weekend with such and such? I'm sorry, do I know you? Yeah, you know Bruce. I'm sorry, Bruce. I don't know Bruce. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because Bruce leaves, Bruce stays at the party. When I walk out of the door, Bruce doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So do not go out there and bring that stuff into the vanilla world. I've seen people at jobs, at parties, bring up what people are into, bring up that people are in the lifestyle. There's a reason why we speak in code.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this is the lifestyle is a secret society.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a secret society. Don't let the fact that it's now mainstream and they're putting movies on Tubi about it or doing shows about it. It is still a secret society that still has rules. Yeah. It is not a free fall.
And it's becoming very popular. If you notice, like they're having it on TV, all types of stuff, and it's giving really a false vision of what the environment is really like. Yeah. It's not a fantasy. You really are dealing with people's real lives, people's hygienes, people's health. You know, this is something that is just, it's not something you really, really want to play with, you know? And that's why I always tell people, when you come into the lifestyle, I always ask people, like, what are you here for? Like, what are you looking to explore? Mm-hmm. And even people that send me requests on like Instagram, things of that nature, I ask everybody the same exact question. Hi, what brings you to this page? Mm-hmm. One person is like, I'm just here to look at some freak shit. No, denied. Nope. Sorry, not doing it. Nope. Because those are the people that'll take your photos, put them on another website or whatever else. You just can't trust it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same thing. Ask again. They'll be like, oh, well, you know, you're being nasty. And I'm like, I only asked you a question. And if that's your personality, then you don't need to be on my page. And it's just that simple. You have to vet everybody. And if you don't know what vetting means, that means like a thorough investigation. Yeah. Some people don't do that. For me, it's a little bit easier. I do majority of the people that come to my environment are lifestylers. They are actually on the actual sites, things of that nature. Some are paid sites, some are not paid sites. The non-paid sites are the ones that you want to vet the most because at the end of the day, the people who pay their money, they're not going to play. And these sites are expensive, like $25 a month, you know what I mean? And it adds up, especially if you're in the lifestyle for years. Yeah. And then there's some sites where, like I said, non-paid sites, they don't have a profile picture. They don't have a bio. They don't have nothing. And they're just trying to get into an event. Be mindful. There are authorities out there. You still have to be mindful that this is not necessarily illegal, but at the end of the day, you do have to be mindful of who you let in your environment and who's in here with, like you said, good intentions, bad intentions. You know what I mean? There's some people who have been shut down because they're not carrying their environment or, again, talking outside the party. You know what I mean? And then when you deal with sometimes the wrong individuals, people get spiteful, make phone calls on you, all types of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you call the authorities on me, I'm going to open up the door naked and say, ta-da. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I would.
No, I'm not going to do that. But no, I personally, I'm not banked on a sex environment. I'm banked on an environment with people who want to come together, who are like-minded, who are into the same things. It's not always about sex. It's about sometimes, again, group discussions. Sometimes it's about just, mingling and just being with a comfortable environment where you could be vulnerable. Yeah. And if one thing leads to another, then so be it. But don't ever, again, come to me and say, hey, are you throwing a sex party? No, I am not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Those don't exist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And something else to kind of touch on something that you said earlier. Also be careful of who you bring to parties with you. Mm-hmm. Like I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of frat brothers. I know a lot of people. And there's some people that know what I do. And you would not believe how many of them that have asked me to bring them to a party. And I've said, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's big in the lifestyle. Yeah.
Because, again, you should be vetting who you're bringing with you. Because if you bring the wrong person, they can embarrass you. They can get you banned from events. They can set it up to where no one wants to play with you. Wait, we can't curse, right?
What?
Okay, all right, cool. So, should never said that to me. But you have some people that I call cockshots.
Just don't be excessive. Cockshots.
Cockshots. So, cockshots are people that will mess it up for you so badly that you'll never get a chance to play with anybody, and they'll ruin your name.
Oh, yeah. So we won't bring them to the environment.
So be mindful. So if you have that person that was like the weird, awkward person that does weird, crazy things, be mindful about bringing them to an event because they'll be that same person at the event that's doing something that's creepy You don't bring creepy people.
Let's touch upon what happens when I've encountered the friend of a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had situations where somebody has paid for an event, let's say a couple, and then the minute that they arrive to the location, hey, I got somebody with me. Do you mind if they come in? And it'll probably be most likely another single guy. And that's a big no-no, because what you just did, you put our safety at risk. You just gave somebody a location that they're not even supposed to have. They didn't, give their donation. They haven't been vetted, nothing. So right then and there, the host should automatically ban you with no refund. And that's real, because you don't know what this guy's intentions are, especially half the time they're newbies. You want to have fun. Hey, come with me. I'm going to this place. You should really check it out. Again, a lot of people don't think like the host think. It's a big difference between the business owner and the customer. Two different worlds, two different mentalities. The customers kind of want what they want. The business owners have to kind of block. Sometimes the customer is not always right. And let's get that right. And a lot of people who are in the vanilla world, who work any type of customer service, are saying, oh, the customer is always right. No, the customer is not always right. And when they're not right, you must educate them and give them the knowledge, because you have policies and you have procedures that need to be, abided by. Same thing here. I treat my environment just like I would do a business, regardless of whether people like it or not. You will not have me murdered. You will not have my people murdered. And then on top of that, this person can have a crazy ex-girlfriend, crazy ex-boyfriend. You just never know. I had one guy who attended an event prior, and then he decided to come back. I sent him a flyer, because once you're on the list, I continue to send the flyers. And the event was canceled. So I'm like, somebody's knocking at my door. And it's literally him and one of his homeboys. And I'm like, I'm very confused. You know what you get? You get a curse out and you could lose your life. That's what happens. Because at the end of the day, that is real. You can't just go to a location however you want with whoever you want. You must sift through, you must filter through the host. If the host did not personally invite you to that event or whatever else, you don't just say, hey, I've been to this location before, let me just show up. You don't do that. It's not a club. And speaking of venues, learn your venues. There's house parties, there's clubs, there's all types of things. You have to know what's what. And then the host should give you that information as well. But then again, it doesn't matter what the location is. You still just don't carry yourself in that type of way. You get what I'm saying?
Respect the house.
Yes. So you have to be mindful of, bringing people to the environment that have not been vetted. Please vet your people. And I'm talking about vet them thoroughly. And if they don't abide by the rules, there is nothing wrong with, you got to go. And it's just that simple, because that's going to cause more problems in the long run.
I think it all stems from the fact that, and I've heard people say this, when they go into an event, oh, this event needs me. The lifestyle doesn't need you. The lifestyle was here before you. The lifestyle will be here after you. And so there's actually someone who I had a falling out with, because I had to explain to them. They were saying, well, the lifestyle, they need to make the money for their event. They should change their rules almost to like kind of cater to the person. And what I had to explain to them is, the lifestyle doesn't need you. The lifestyle doesn't need to bend around you. The lifestyle didn't come looking for you. You came looking for the lifestyle. So if you came looking for it, you have to abide by the rules.
Right.
You can't sit there and say, well, I'm only going to follow some of the rules of the lifestyle. No, again, you came looking for this. Yeah. You came here. It didn't come to you.
Yeah.
So remember that whenever you're going to an event, whether it be swing, whether it be BDSM or any other kinks that you're into, because there are quite a few kinks out here in the lifestyle. So know what you're signing up for. Know the rules. If there's a part of it that doesn't work for you, it's okay. Find your tribe somewhere else. You don't have to like every part of the lifestyle. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I want to touch upon is a big issue with theft Theft is a big thing. I've had people leave with people's underwear, people's socks. I've had panties stolen. Now I would be flattered just, but no, it's real. Let me give you an example.
Mhm.
One, there are people there was a big situation where someone left with someone's jacket. It was in the wintertime too.
Mhm.
Someone left with someone's jacket, and then at the end of the night, they're looking for their stuff, and I believe it was a small party that night.
Mhm.
So it really wasn't hard to pinpoint who was doing what.
Mhm.
But it's just about the etiquette and the integrity of the event. If you didn't come with something, don't leave with something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've had people lose their car keys, and say, "Oh, I'm locked out." There has been, now this is one issue. Me being a female host, thank God that I am well equipped to protect myself and my guests in more ways than one. I'm not a big, muscular dude. And even if they was a muscular dude, that doesn't mean that you're a protector. Okay. I'm just equipped with certain tactics, that I don't care to discuss, but I like to use. This is what I call my decoy. Please, mistaken identity over here.
Mhm.
See me as some young damsel in distress, because you will get your heart broken real quick. Okay. So at the end of the day, people come in and they steal things. They lose car keys, or, hey, my ride left me. Can I stay here overnight? Hey, I'm too drunk. Can I stay here overnight?
Sleep on the porch.
All types of things. You know what it is? Party's over at 3. Gotta go.
Yep.
I don't care what it is. I hate to put you out on the street like that. Yes, I have empathy and sympathy, but seriously, not my problem.
Yeah.
It's really not my problem. And I always have, at the end of the night, when I close the door, what do I always say to people? Make sure
Call you when you get home.
Call me when you get home.
Yeah.
That's all I ask for, because I don't want a phone call like, hey, well, you were the last person that this person spoke to, or last person seen. This ain't the first 48. Not over here. It ain't. No, I want to know. I sent them out the door. I was making sure when they get home, please give me a call. And thank God that I do have wonderful guests. Everybody lets me know when they get home. Everybody. There's not one person that skips a beat, even the newbies, the veterans. And I love that, because it also builds a great rapport with your community, because you actually care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I really hope, because I want it done for me. There's been times where I left places and people just don't give a damn, and that's not cool for me. So as a little perk, a little tweak, hey, let me know what's going on. And sometimes that's a gift and a curse, because then people call me like, hey, I got problems. Hey, I got this. Listen, I'm not here for all that. If I can help, if I can make a connection, if I can call somebody to help you out. But at the end of the day, again, that's discretion for me. Let's disconnect after 3 a.m. or when the party's over. Leave me alone as the host.
Yes.
I'll leave you alone as the guest.
Yeah.
What happens? My phone buzzes the most between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Yeah.
With who? I'm single.
Yeah.
With who? I'm not talking to nobody. Zip zero.
Yep.
I found a love in the lifestyle where I don't need necessarily, I'm not looking for a partner at the moment. I'm just looking to be free, know myself, find myself. And then when I'm ready for a partner, I'll go ahead and pursue that.
Mm-hmm.
But for my phone to buzz between 1 and 5 a.m., hey, what you doing? You up?
Yeah.
Why are you texting me at this time of night?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that is etiquette. Why are you doing that? And then it makes you look like a creep on top of that, because one, I only met you for a couple of hours, we had a great night tonight and I thought maybe I'd holler at you. No, that's not how that goes.
I feel bad for you, because
you should feel bad. It's a scary feeling. But again, I know my boundaries. I know myself. No is strong in my life. It really is. So you'll get cursed out, especially if I go to bed. I mean, the party over at 3 a.m. I'm damn near gone by 3:30, 4 o'clock, and my phone is buzzing. Like, that's not. If you think that I'm gonna be attracted or even that's appealing to me, that'll get you blocked, and then you won't be able to get access to me at all. Because again, That's integrity to me. That's etiquette to me. At the end of the day, if I didn't give you that space to do that, then you shouldn't be doing that. And on top of that, that is a RSVP number. I didn't say call me after hours and have small talk, pillow talk, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that automatically makes me look, hey, you're the type of person that would take a photo, a telephone number, or whatever else you can use to kind of get your way through the door. Not cool.
And that sucks because I know with me, I've been in the lifestyle for a few years. 5 people have my number. That is it. Only 5. Because you don't know what people's intentions are. If someone has your real number, or if you're texting each other back and forth, texting each other pictures, texting each other stories, you don't know if they're taking those screenshots and they're sending them around. You don't know if they're going to call you at weird times. You don't, as we said before, once we leave the party, it's over. It's over. Like, again, Bruce Leroy stays here and leaves when I get out that door. And same thing with you. I mean, we all have vanilla lives. And people don't seem to respect that. They seem to, and you know what? This is an etiquette rule for men and women. The people that are here are not objects. Remember that.
What do you mean?
They're not objects. So the host is not a sexual object. The people that you meet here are not sexual objects.
About that,
they are people who like to play, but they are people. Treat them as people that have lives and families and have other things going on.
And you know what? That boils down to, again, knowing yourself as an individual. I've had the same telephone number for literally 15 years and I'm not changing it. At the end of the day, my phone is a hubcap for a lot. Business, personal, that's because I know how to organize my phone. I know what to do with my stuff. That still does not give you the right or anybody else the right to use my number whenever they feel like it. That is that is you telling me about yourself. At the end of the day, let's talk about the photos. When I'm vetting and I go on your profile and, you know, if you have your pictures and your bio there or whatever else, it's a little bit easier to get through. Again, as I mentioned earlier, there are some people who don't have photos, who don't have bios. And I say, hey, can you provide an open photo just to identify yourself? You know what I get? A dick pic. And I'm like, no, an open photo to identify yourself. That could be anybody's dick. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny, but
dick fish.
I like that one.
Wait, so you black? Why is this dick white? I got that bit of logic.
But no, seriously, it's an impression to the host. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys just don't understand why they are getting the reaction that they're getting in the lifestyle, because maybe a host might ignore that. And I don't ignore anything. I want everybody to have a great experience. And sometimes the hosts are not there to educate the people. They just, hey, this is you're acting crazy, or this is disrespectful. You gotta go. No, some guys are sexual like that. Some guys are like, hey, maybe this is what she'll like. You know what I mean? And send it there. But they have to understand, again, a lot of hosts are not professional either. And I really do bank on that. So I'm giving people an experience to say, hey, listen, I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? But don't do this again. You know, I'm always talking to people and they'll say, I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. And you know what? They end up becoming some of the best people at my events and things of that nature. They just don't know because they treat the lifestyle as a porn environment, and it's just not that. Just identify your face. That's all I ask for. Your body is already almost on the profile because you got pics, nude pics everywhere with the head cut off. Cool. I need to identify you. One guy was like, well, I guarantee you I'm a handsome guy. I guarantee you won't make it into this event. I'll tell you that. How do I know?
But he's sending you a dick pic.
That's not my thing. You know?
So dick's not handsome?
No, absolutely not. But I guarantee, but it's about safety. When you get to that point, I don't joke around with that. And you're wasting my time because I have a bunch of people that are RSVPing and you're sitting here playing around. It's outside say, they'll say hi. I'll say profile name and platform. Next thing you know, it's 12 pics coming and they're all dick pics. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is not how you conduct yourself.
They gotta get the angles.
No, it's just not how you conduct yourself,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you were serious about the environment, serious about being in the community, then you would carry yourself a lot differently.
But that actually says something to the type of people that they are. Because those are the types of people that will come here and say, oh, this is a sex party.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know about the other aspects of the lifestyle. There's people, for example, that think that BDSM and swing are the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not. They're marginally different.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the people that will show up at a BDSM event and say, well, why am I not playing? Why is no one having sex with me? Well, this is a different type of environment.
And educate the people, because a lot of people don't know. BDSM events usually are not play parties, because you're dealing with impact play. You're dealing with bondage. You're dealing with all types of stuff. That can, if somebody, and you have to be very careful. Yeah. There are a lot of mental health issues in the lifestyle. Somebody might have a good time tonight and then go ahead and flip out, have a mental episode the next day, and then try to accuse you of something that you just, that just wasn't really happening. Yeah. So when it comes to BDSM events, I learned to call them like swinksters events, if you wanted to do a little bit of swing and kink events together. But as far as BDSM, you normally they're not play parties. They're normally not play parties. So be mindful. I learned that my very, very first, time going to New York. I wanted to explore BDSM, walked in there, thought I was going to be some 50 Shades of Grey type of vibe, and got totally disappointed. That's the
thing. A lot of people, they don't understand what comes with it. Mm-hmm. You were actually at my BDSM event that I threw. Mm-hmm. So I had a BDSM event and everybody was calling me, asking me, is there going to be play? Is anybody going to play? This isn't that, because with BDSM, the rules are different. The vetting is important. Mm-hmm. A lot of people with traumas, they come to BDSM to help them to deal with their traumas. So if you're not vetting the person, you don't know if the person has mental health issues. You don't know if the person has health issues. You don't know if your actions could be triggering just because you got a hard dick. Yeah. So be mindful of the space that you're in. Yeah. Be mindful of the people that you're interacting with. This is why vetting is so important. This is why having conversations is so important. Don't just come here thinking, I'm just here to get a nut, which, if that's your intention, that's great. But have some decorum about yourself. Yeah. Have some etiquette about yourself.
Well, that's what the episode is about.
Yes.
Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
I'm good.
I think this episode has rolled on, but we touched some really, really great points. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm glad that the audience was able to enjoy it. Yes. So, as always, we go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yes. Again, the credentials should be popping up right here. So you'll be able to go ahead and keep up to date with everything. Please come out to the events. Know that I do treat you with nothing but love and hospitality. My personality stays the same. I don't even think I'm ever really in a bad mood ever. I have an understanding of human beings and people, and just, the empathy and sympathy of what people go through. And I really just want people to learn and explore and hopefully have longevity in the lifestyle, just like, I am. This is a slow burn is what I call it. That means it's not something that you just get overnight. These are people that eventually become veterans, people in the lifestyle 10, 15, 20 years, married couples, the whole nine. There's so much to explore, so much to learn. So I hope that the podcast really helps, you along, and there'll be more to come, more fun events. We're going to touch upon mental health. We're going to break down certain things. We're going to touch upon the pegging episodes. We're going to touch upon all types of stuff. Yes, we are. That's my favorite. My favorite. I'm the pegging queen. That's my favorite. But no, neither here nor there. Yeah. It'll be there's an abundance of topics that can be touched upon. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to continue, to give you vital information and continue to receive the love and support. And again, thank you, Bruce, for coming out. This is your second episode with me, and I absolutely enjoyed you.
I don't keep getting me to come out.
Listen.
Just tell you how dope she is. If she calls me, it can be 3:00 in the morning. She say, hey, I need you to come by. Because she's so dope, I'll be here.
Listen, you gotta give love to get love, and sometimes that's not even always the case. Sometimes I'm just a lover, regardless of whatever I receive, because I do understand how the world operates. You know, not everybody is a reciprocating, person, but that doesn't affect my balance in life and what I choose to, do for others. So I just want to thank you guys, thank the audience members. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Everything was good? Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe, Lifestyle Dropbox. You can find me on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon. Patreon is going to have all the demonstrations on it. Okay. So when we have it's more like a show and tell type of vibe after the episode. So after we have the discussions, we can go into a more private side and you guys can see more of the exclusive, videos and demonstrations and things like that. So we're going to keep it really fun and funky. But other than that, you guys know how that goes. Deuces.